First vehicle we're going to test out is the T55. This baby's got a 100mm main gun as well as a coax PKT. The T55 uses a range table that has 5 different ranges starting from left to right. You see the Russian characters for OF. That is the range table for your HE round, which is your OF 416SH, your HE frag round. Just to the right of that is the Russian characters for BR. That's your heat round, so that'll be the BKBM round. The middle range table, we're going to ignore that. I don't actually know what that's for. As far as I know, it has no use in the RDS tank pack. The range table just to the right of that looks like an NKT. Is actually the Russian characters for PKT, which is your coax machine gun. Unfortunately, the RDS tank pack does not have that accurately ranged. To the right of that, the very small range table, the far right, that is your AP round. And that is the main round you use against enemy vehicles. Like I said, this T100 in front of us is 800 meters away, so we'll go ahead and start with our AP demonstration. 0 to 800 and fire. And you see we have a hit. It hit right here and actually bounced, ricocheted, hit it twice. Next we have our HE round. So using the leftmost range table, we'll go ahead and zero it at 800. Set our carrot up there and fire. And you can see that that was more or less a direct hit. Next we will do the heat round. In the real life settings and in some other games, the heat round is effective at cooking off rounds within the tank or killing crew members or taking out the engine block, etc. So anyways, here we go, firing 800 meters, heat round. And you can see that that hit just under the turret ring. It actually caused the hole to go yellow there. So as you can see, a T55 can do damage to a T100 front armor. Next we're going to go ahead and engage the 1,000 meter target. We already have heat loaded, so we'll use that range table first. Going up to 1 kilometer away. It's the 10 there on the 1 from the left. Got a pretty nice hit there, just above the turret ring. We'll adjust our range table down to 1 kilometer, just like that. Line up our target, fire. And that was, as you see, that actually went a little bit high. I was aiming more or less on the turret ring. It's generally a good idea to either have your commander spotting for you, or to have infantry or the like near the target that can give you some status on how well you're engaging the target. We'll show the fragmentation round at 1 click. Made a good hit there. Hit right about in the front armor there. Next we'll try out our 1,500 meter target. We already have HE loaded, so we'll use that range table. So range that to the best of our ability here. Obviously with the AP, as you can see, the range table is much smaller, given that the AP's ballistic trajectory is much less arcing than the other types of ammunition. So to fit it on the optic properly, it has to be much smaller, which means it's harder to actually range it. So fire. So you got a good hit there. Just shy of the commander gun there. That would be something that you definitely want to take out. In fact, I think it does look like we managed to damage that. Loading a heat round. Shot, and we get a nice hit right on the turret. So that's the gist of the T55. From the gunner's standpoint, you can turn out. As you can see, your lid defends you from the front from small arms fire. However, you're very vulnerable to the sides. Your entire torso is exposed. Same thing goes for the commander's lid there. You turn out exactly the same. Switching to the commander's seat, you can see that they have a periscope, has 360 view, and a much quicker turret traverse than the gunner. So it's good for spotting targets and calling them out. You do have a much less magnified optic, unfortunately. So this is zoomed out. This is just 0 times zoom, 1 times I suppose. And this is, I believe it's a 4x zoom. So not great, but it's good for spotting RPG threats or close armor contacts, which was what the T55 specialized in engaging. It had a strong gun, not the best at range, however, it was enough to punch a hole through armor at close range. You'll note that there is a range finder on the bottom of the periscope there. It says 2.7 meters. However, this range finder does not work. Do not use it, because you will be shooting way over your target. The commander also has a night vision optic. The gunner has 4 different zoom types. When you have the regular zoom and the magnified zoom of your main Canon optic, you have a frontal window zoom, and this allows you to engage targets with better peripheral vision, so close to your tank. You also have a nighttime optic, and I can see my targets here. However, it does not have an effective rangefinder, nor does it indicate the range tables, so you're pretty much at a crapshoot when you're using this optic past 500-ish meters. The driver of the T100 can slightly zoom out the window for themselves to get a bit more peripheral vision. They can also turn out. The T55 has the best view from their turned out position. You'll also notice that they are the most exposed out of all the tanks. So their entire torso is more or less exposed as well. They do have very good view around the tanks. These tank strings. So we'll get this baby warmed up. The top speed of the T55 is 45 kilometers per hour. It does take quite some time to get up to that speed. Turning while moving severely reduces your speed, and it also is hard to pull off. Eventually your tank will stagnate to the point where it is no longer moving, and then it'll just start spinning. The max reverse speed for the T55 is -9 kilometers per hour. We managed to disable the gun, disable the turret, and as you can see, I cannot elevate the weapon. I can only move side to side. So unfortunately for my T55 here, that means I can smack it, and it'll blow up here in a sec. But I have rendered this tank more or less ineffective